great coaches. Then after you have great coaches, you get great players. You have a great organization, and you tell them one thing: just win, baby.
This is Raiders Allegiance with Lunatic Raider. Welcome to the dark side.
What is the deal, Raider Nation? Welcome to Raiders Allegiance, live from the Raiders Asylum with yours truly, Lunatic Raider. We got a lot to touch on tonight. Felt like pulling up and doing a live and touching on these subjects, man, because I'm hearing a lot of rumors floating around out there about Mr. Honey Badger and the Las Vegas Raiders. Is it true? Depending on what outlet is leaking this shit out there, it's a possibility this can be true. Because I heard that is one of the players out there on the free agent market that we are after. So you guys go ahead and pull up. We about to do this shit tonight. Yes, we are. We about to do this shit tonight. Shout out to everybody that's out there, man, checking us out on this late night Saturday. You feel me? But shout out to Raider Dog pulling up in the chat, man. I appreciate it. Shout out to Philly Sports Talk Podcast. Thank you, one. Thank you all. Come on, pull on up. Pull on up. I see we got 13 in here, man. We got Hunter Renfro up in here. 13, you feel me? We got Hunter Renfro up in the building. Renfro in the building, and I'm feeling myself. Yes, indeed. We up in here, baby. Raiders Allegiance, Lunatic Raider, live from the Raiders Asylum. We're going to touch on some subjects this evening. Like I said before I started, there are a lot of rumors floating around about the Raiders and what they're about to do next. Is there any truth to it? We shall dig in and find out and see what you guys think. I know what my opinion is, but we're going to see what you think also. Shout out to Gangs, man, pulling up, man. Shout out from LA. Right on. Shout out to LA, you guys. All the LA Raider fans, salute. Thank you for pulling up. If this is your first time here, do me a solid, subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, and knock the hell out of that notification bell so you can be notified of all the content I release, even breaking news. That's my spiel. Let's get it in. Shout out to all 11 people watching. I appreciate every one of you guys. Like I was saying earlier, there is rumors flying about who it is the Raiders are planning on signing next. And it is a big name on the defensive side of the ball. Now, we can sit here and speculate and assume that it's either Honey Badger, Stephon Gilmore, which that will be correct. In your assessment, that will be exactly correct of those two names that I just mentioned, because those are the two names that I feel would potentially could end up with this team. Now, is it just going to be one of them or both? Who knows? But we have to dig into this because, like I said, I'm hearing from, like, I would consider them reliable sources saying that they were hoping they being the Raiders were hoping to get a deal done this past Wednesday, but that did not happen. The Raiders are the front runners to signing the player that's in question. Who that player is, we can only speculate that it's either going to be Mathau, the Honey Badger, or it's going to be Stephon Gilmore. Either or, I'm fine with. I really wouldn't mind either one of these suiting up in the silver and black. But man, I'm telling you, it's just swirling, and it's like all the needles are pointing towards the Honey Badger. As you see in the thumbnail, is the Honey Badger, is the Badger coming to the Raiders? I would love for it to happen. Him and Trayvon Morig in the back at the safety spots. But if that does occur, do we keep all these safeties that's on this team? What happens to Abram? Does Abram go to the bench? Do we trade Abram during the draft? There is possibilities everywhere. Shout out to Florida Boy for pulling up, man. You feeling like you're not getting neither? Oh, neither one of them, huh? Man, I don't know. I don't know, because I'm looking at all the red flags, and it's like, we still do have $20 million June 1st, right? We still have not extended Derek Carr yet. That has to happen, because the reason why that has to happen, that move alone can free up X amount of dollars in free agency. You can not restructure, but you can give him an extension and do something with this year that he's supposed to be making 20. You can convert it into mostly a signing bonus, which spreads that money out and frees up money under the cap this year. That can be done. And it needs to be done. You know what I mean? It needs to be done. If the team feels that Honey Badger or Gilmore can come in and they said this is out of the horse's mouth. This is out of Ziegler and McDaniel's mouth. Anything this team can do to improve, to upgrade, they will do. And that's what you're supposed to do. If there is a player out there on the market that is better than the player that is on your team, you must analyze and look at it from an angle of, does that help us improve? And if it does, you have to make the move, or attempt or try to make the move, because it's going to come to dollar amounts. What does the player want? What is the team willing to give? So it's going to be that tug of war. Not that it can't be done, but the fact is that they're going to have to sit down at the table and discuss the terms of negotiation. I would really love to have Honey Badger on this team. This dude, and like the last time I was on here, I was talking about how this team needs players that come and play hard every down. We need this roster to be full of Max Crosbys. And to me, Honey Badger falls into that slot as far as a high motor and loves the game of football and plays hard every down. Plain and simple. He plays hard every down. You need players like this on your team to rub off on the younger players, to give them a better work ethic of what to expect and how they should perform on the field. If your veterans are going out there busting their ass, then the young dudes, they're going to feel like they need to do the same thing. But Honey Badger is just, the dude is terrific at safety, man. He's a ball hawk. And with our defensive ends and the way they're developing the middle of the defensive line with the tackle position, they are trying to apply pressure to all quarterbacks that stand on the opposite of them. And what that does is you can go ahead and get you a secondary that are ball hawks. We are trying to cause turnovers. Plain and simple. Turnovers. And I'm telling you, with Honey Badger, man, and Morrig, come on now. Morrig and Honey Badger. Come on now. I know you guys know. Shout out to everybody out there in the chat, man. I want to take a minute and say what's up to them. Erico Algeria. Hope I'm pronouncing it right, man. What's up, Raiders? Raiders. That's right. It's Raiders all day. Raiders all day. Thank you for pulling up. Raider Dog. Yes, indeed. I would think we do need to trade Abram. Because, and I'm saying it won't happen until the draft. But, yeah, it won't happen till the draft unless because see, I think, and it's the smart thing to go ahead and be in the draft and see exactly what other teams around you are doing and what players in the draft fall to you, for you to maneuver and do a trade like that to move up or whatever they plan on doing. You know what I mean? Package them up with another pick to move up a little further to specifically go after a player that they have high on their board. But yeah, man, if they bring in Matt Allen in this motherfucker, man, they're gonna have to think about getting rid of Abram, because I don't see Abram on this team anymore. But see, I like Abram. I mean, he can't cover, but the things that he can do, he does well. He's good at tackling. He's good against the run. He's relentless. He's not afraid to put a hit on somebody. He's a good player. It's just his coverage skills is lacking. You know what I mean? And it's kind of hard especially if you're running, if you're going into the season with doing a 4-3-5 type situation. you do want your safety. Even if he's in the box, he's going to have to be responsible maybe for tight ends. You know what I mean? Now, it'll be a little mismatch because of the size difference. Speed, I'm not worried about. But height-wise, it's an issue. I would need a linebacker that got a height on him, like about a 6'4" linebacker, which I know one of these guys that we brought in is like about 6'4" at the linebacker spot. I like that because you can throw them on a tight end and he's on his ass. You give me a linebacker big enough and fast enough to cover a tight end, Abram, I'm sorry, bruh, but your existence can lead to us getting some kind of capital in the draft. I like you, dude. I even got your jersey. You know what I mean? But if we can improve this roster at any position, you look into making that move. You would be dumb not to. You have to look into making that move because the whole idea is to improve every day. Even that's why you practice, to improve. So if you can get a player that's better than the player that you have on your squad now, and you can obtain him, you have to look into that. You have to. You have to. It would be just loony not to. You know what I mean? And by you guys, let me pose this question to you. Do you think Honey Badger is better than Abram? That's all I'm gonna ask. Let me see in the chat what you guys think. Is Honey Badger better than Abram? Let me know. Let me know. Shout out to everybody. Hey, what's up with it? Everybody in the chat, man. I appreciate you guys. Oh, St. Louis in the house. St. Louis in the house. Man, hey, I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you for the kind words. Be welcome to pull up anytime you want when I'm on here, man. You're more than welcome. Like I said, without you guys, there's no me, and without us, there's no nation, because there's only one nation, and we stand as one. So I appreciate you guys for being here. If this is your first time here, subscribe to the channel, please, and hit that like button. You already know what to do with the bell. Knock the hell out of it. Thank you. Shout out Florida boy, man. I think Honey Badger going to. Oh, you think he's going to the highest bidder? But see, the kind of thing that works in our favor is that there is no state income tax here. So depending on what team he signs with, because I heard the other team, well, I can't even say if this is factual because I seen somebody post on Twitter. They're trying to portray a writer for like ESPN type shit saying that both Gilmore and Honey Badger signing with us tomorrow, and that the other teams that were involved with negotiating, trying to get him to sign was Pittsburgh and the Niners, and I don't see that. I know the whole article was bullshit because the numbers that he tried to float out there as far as what the contract would be is a little over the top. It's not even a little. It's a whole lot over the top. It was like ridiculous. So yeah, on Twitter, I just put in the comments, I just laughed. Like, man, get the fuck out of here with that nonsense. Talking about 2 years. What did he say? 2 years, 36 million for Honey Badger? I doubt he knows the numbers because, like I said, Raiders is not leaking anything out. So anybody that has information, the Raiders told them, and the Raiders probably told them, don't say shit. If you say shit, we'll never give you info again for you to hit once we release what happens. Because there's one guy on Twitter that says that something's going down, that it's something brewing. We are trying to sign a big name defensive free agent. He didn't say who it was. He won't say who it was until it happens. So for someone to try to hold, that's like a news reporter or journalist or whatever it is, for them to hold it close to chest also, the only thing I can see is that the Raiders told him don't say shit. And that's his inside. Whatever source he has within the inside of the organization told him don't leak it. If you leak it, you're not going to get anything else. And as a journalist, you got to respect that, because the more info you can get during the season, the more you could be the first one. And that's all they're really pretty much worried about, is being the first to drop it. But it's not just being first to drop it. You have to be first to drop the truth. That's the whole key. Because I see people wanting to be first, but they're dropping shit that ain't even nowhere near being the truth. For real, for real. So I don't know if the highest bidder would be what if that's what Honey Badger is, because to be honest with you, all he needs is a 1-year deal. Do a 1-year deal, go back into free agency next year when the cap goes up at least 20 mil. You know what I mean? There will be more money available next year. That's the whole key. See, these free agents do these 1-year deals. It's a damned if you do, damned if you don't. You do a 1-year deal, you get injured, there's a possibility of your money being gone the following season. You do a year and bust your ass and do damn good and go back into free agency after the salary cap raises another 20, 22, 23. I don't know, but it's going to be $20+ million that the cap goes up again. So there's more money available to sign free agents. So therefore, that would be a smart move as well. Go get that bag by busting your ass this year, hit the free agent market again. But if it's something that the Raiders want to keep, they can, you know what I mean? They can have the rights to go ahead and discuss, hey, we want to keep you in here long term because the way you and Morrig works together is beautiful, and we don't want to ruin that. So there's a possibility of being able to talk an extension after the year, especially if he loves his time here during that 1-year deal. So, I mean, it can go either or. You know what I mean? It could be either or. Shout out to gangs out there in the chat, man. What you say? Would I rather have Gilmore or gosh? See, here's the thing. I don't think Gilmore you could still use. Matthew is see, the thing with him is because we picked up some other safeties as well. You know what I mean? We picked up some other free agent safeties as well. So obviously, whoever we went out and signed, the front office was comfortable with them coming in and getting done what we need to get done on that defensive side of the ball. But Matthew is one of them he's one of them talents that you can't deny him. I mean, but Gilmore, I mean, can you imagine if you put Gilmore on the other side opposite of Yasin? That'll be a solid ass, and you keep Abram and keep him with Morrig and just let him play in the box with a Gilmore and a Yasin as your corners. I think that's solid. Unless there's a different route where you can go ahead and get Matthew in here at safety with Morrig. You got Yasin. You can't sign Gilmore if you sign Matthew, but what you do is you keep Tyvon Mullen. Would you keep Mullen at the other corner starting spot across from Yasin? Are you comfortable with that? Man, there's options. If these motherfuckers pull a rabbit out the hat and sign both of these dudes, I'm all in. I'm all in. If they could somehow sign both of these dudes out of free agency and put them on this defense, dude, hey, more power to Ziegler and McDaniels because they know what the fuck they doing. And there is a possibility that you can still do that. It's all in the structuring of the contract. Like I said, if Matthew don't go out trying to look for the best, I mean, he can't go get the highest bidder because the thing is, a lot of that first wave money is gone. He should have went out there in the get-go and fuck with Jacksonville, Miami. They had, you know what I mean? They had Indianapolis. They have the money to go ahead and give you that at the beginning, but they didn't. Or you turned it down, or they didn't even offer it. I don't know what happened as far as negotiations go with you and other teams, but there's different things that could have happened. You know what I mean? There's different things that could happen. So, but if some way if we fuck around and pull both of these motherfuckers off of free agency and add them to the defense, oh my God. Matthew and Gilmore, if the Raiders pull that off, oh my God. I'll set myself. No, I won't. No, I won't. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Thank you for pulling up. Reggie Raider in the motherfucking house. Man. Hey, defensive back Gilmore. It didn't have Matthew. Yeah, those are the three. If we can trade, because Bradbury, I don't think the Giants released him. He's still under contract, so we could trade for him. Maybe Abram goes into a trade, something like that, to get Bradbury. because he is on a rookie deal. You feel me? Abram is on a rookie deal, so it ain't breaking the bank. Maybe that's something that the Giants might want to look into to get. I don't know. I'm guessing. To open up, man, you know what? I'm telling you, if we some way, somehow pull that shit off, man, I'm going to run down Las Vegas Boulevard. And I don't know what the fuck I'm going to do. That's just one of them instances like, nah, pinch me. That shit did not just happen. The Raiders did not sign both of them. For real. Shout out to everybody out there, man. Oh my goodness, man. How you guys feeling this evening? Shout out, man. I hope I'm trying to keep up to everybody. Nito 24K9. What's up with you, dog? What's up with you, baby? Thank you for pulling up, man. Thank you. Shout out to Florida boy. What's happening with you? I would love to get Honey Badger too. You know what I mean? Hands down. I mean, you'll be, come on now. We know what you get if you was assigned this cat, man. You sign this dude on your team, you know what you're getting. You're getting production, plain and simple, and effort. Production and effort is what you get from signing Matthew off the free agent market. How much he wants, that's a whole nother discussion. Alan Thompson, what's up with it, man? Raider fan from Deep South. Man, oh, real Deep South. You talk about New Zealand. Hey, welcome. You guys are more than welcome to pull up anytime you want. If this is your first time here, subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and knock the hell out of that notification bell so you can be notified of all the content I release, even breaking news. Tonight, we're discussing the possibilities of signing Honey Badger, Gilmore, and maybe even doing little moves to get back into the second round of the draft. What do you guys think about that? Do you have an idea of what you would package up to a team to get us back into the second round? Because obviously it would include the third round pick, but I think a third round pick and a player, you know what I mean, could get you back in the second round. But does that player have value to increase a third to a second? That's a good thing to sit there and think about. You know what I mean? Will a player in the third pick get you back into the second round, and would you want to do that? Or would you want to stay pat at the third round pick, which is our first, and trade back and accumulate more? I was saying that I would think about trading the third pick back. And meaning I wouldn't necessarily mean trade out of the third round. I would say trade all the way back into the bottom end of the third round so somebody can move up, but also accumulate like a fourth and a fifth. You know what I mean? A fourth, a fifth, and their third for our third to move up to. Then that way that would give us 2 fourths and 2 fives. No. 3 fives. 2 fours and 3 fives with a low bottom third round pick. I like that shit. You know what I mean? Between the third, fourth, and fifth round, you're getting 6 picks in 3 rounds. Make that move. You would have to think about moving back to do some shit like that. Also, you can also take one of them other picks, the additional picks in the fourth and fifth, and keep trading back. I remember New England used to do that shit all the time. I would sit there and watch the draft on the third day. And it'll be like, you know, the later rounds on Saturday. And early in the morning, I'm seeing, okay, New England about to pick. And then all of a sudden it'd be like, alert. New England traded the pick to such and such. I'm like, here they go. See, they always believe their philosophy is anybody can be replaced. And if you get so big where you're going to require a lot of money and can get it on the market, you let them go. You let them go and you go back into the draft and you always draft replacements. That's why I think in this draft, the positions that we have to look forward to as far as drafting this year is the positions that can come in after and look at the positions that we gave 1-year deals to. That's the key. Because on a 1-year deal, you're not going to franchise any of these 1-year deals, right? But after the season, depending on how they produce, you can get in talks and be like, do you guys want to come back? that player might say no because he can go off to this team over here and they're going to pay him top dollar for his production in that 1-year deal that he did with us. So as a front office on a team, what I would expect to do is go into the draft positions that we only gave 1-year deal to, that there's a possibility that they can walk. You know what I mean? Because there's going to be jewels in that fourth and fifth round picks. You're going to find jewels. You get good quality value type players in those 2 rounds. Where did Max Crosby come from? Oh, the 4th round? Wasn't Max Crosby in the 4th round? There is value in the 4th and 5th. And if we trade back the 3rd and happen to pick up an extra 4th and an extra 5th, that'll give us 2 4s and 3 5s. That is perfect for those 2 rounds to go out there and grab these dudes that fell down in between the cracks. You might have your eye on somebody that everybody's not even coveting, but you are, and you keeping it quiet. So if he falls to you in the 4th and 5th round, you grab their ass. Linemen, defensive linemen, O-linemen. You can grab a receiver. Whatever's a 1-year deal, you go out there and grab somebody. You know what I mean? You go grab whatever the value is at that pick. When it's time for you to pick, you grab that ass. That's why I said we're in a good position this year for the fact that, I think teams go wrong when they draft for need because they just ignore the whole structure of value of players and they just go grab what they need. And whatever they need might not be valued at that pick at that time. But and that becomes a reach. But our predicament this year, and this is brilliant, this is wonderful. Anything that we draft that is a best available player most likely will be a need as well. We can't go wrong unless it's a quarterback. But you can still get a quarterback later and groom him back up. If over time his value goes up, trade bait. Because every team is always looking for quarterbacks, whether it's a starter or a backup. Value of the quarterback is always going to be present. Plain and simple. It's always going to be present. So you can get value out of backups easy. You know what I mean? But you also got to protect yourself and protect your investment, because if we're investing in Carr and giving him an extension and anything happens to him physically, injury-wise, which I do not wish that on anybody, but if that does occur, we have to be ready to be able to put the next quarterback in there to keep us doing what we were doing with Carr. If we were winning games, we need a quarterback to step right in and not skip a beat. So I see what Josh McDaniels and them are focusing on. But a rookie would not be that. You know what I mean? A rookie would not be a hellified backup for us because we are a playoff team, hands down. And there's no way in the world I will put an offensive lineman as a rookie or a quarterback as a backup as a rookie on this team, because that could be very, very detrimental to any kind of progress that we were building as a team. You know what I mean? We have to flourish with proven talent. On the offensive line, I'm comfortable with veterans. Defense, that's a different story. See, because offense, you're protecting your quarterback. You're opening holes for your run game. Defense, you're just after that motherfucking quarterback and stopping the run. That's compared to the offensive line. No, there's more intangibles in the offensive line to me over defensive tackle. I can put a rookie defensive tackle in there, and if that motherfucker go out there and ball, I'm good. Offensive linemen, I don't want them to learn as they go, make the mistakes as they go, because as they go is how we go. And if they're fucking up, we're going to fuck up. Penalty flags, all that. Fucked up assignments, everything like that can just have us just nose into the ground, and that's it for the season. We're going to be worrying about what we're going to do with the first pick the next season, and I don't want to be in that predicament. I want to be in the kind of situation where we go in and we build on just making a playoff appearance. We need to win playoff games. We need to get all the way to the AFC Championship and possibility of getting to the Super Bowl. That's what this Raider team needs to do. We did not go to the playoffs for nothing. I'm kind of glad that they we got the people in office that we have there to make this team do what it do. But I'm telling you, adding Honey Badger or Gilmore will greatly increase the talent and the production of this team on the defensive side of the ball. That's just what it is. And bruh, I'm excited to see this shit. I am excited to see this shit because I'm telling you, if they put the right combination together, you can build something so tremendous, it's going to strike fear in the hearts of men. You heard it here first. It will strike the fear in the hearts of men when that team hits the field. But see, like back to the original conversation, I don't see us getting both Gilmore and Honey Badger. There's only going to be one choice. I think, oh my God, this not even what I think, man, because it's like, fuck, that's a hard ass fucking decision. That's hard because both of them can help your team win. Who would help your team win more? Who would help your team? Well, Gilmore or Matthew? Who would help your team more if you signed them to come in and start? That's a good fucking question. That's a damn good question because it's like I still can be comfortable with Abrams. Just you got to put him in a position of being able for him to play with his strengths. You know what I mean? I don't want him. Don't put him in coverage if he can't cover, or coach him up to be able to cover. Because a lot of that shit that he messes up on is technique, plain and simple. Technique. It ain't because he's slow. You know what I mean? Is his technique and coverage is not that great. And that's something that you can coach a player to become good at. So with that being said, I got confidence in Patrick Graham, Simmons. I got comfortable. You know, Rob Ryan. I'm comfortable in that system that's built there. You know what I mean? There is a system in place for these dudes to go ahead and succeed. Yes, indeed. Shout out. Ooh, Picky. Is that your name? Man, thank you for pulling up. You think the Vikings will be pretty scary? You know what? I think there is quite a few teams that can be scary if the additions that they've made add up to what they expect, to wins. There's a lot of teams that can be scary. Like, okay, let's look at Miami, for instance. Miami, our only question mark on Miami is the quarterback position. Can Tua lead this team to victories? Is that the quarterback you need now that you got Tyreek Hill? You know what I mean? Or do you upgrade at the quarterback position for Miami? What happens to Baker Mayfield? Does Baker Mayfield goes into another situation and prosper? Because it isn't. We know what to expect from Cleveland. Cleveland been bagged over the head for years. Yeah, they got Deshaun Watson, but that does not mean that they're going to eat. How many Super Bowls did Houston win with Deshaun Watson? And didn't they have like one of the best receivers he was throwing to? And a solid defense? But how many Super Bowls? See, you're not guaranteed to win Super Bowls just because you went out there and made a big splash in the trading of getting a quarterback. You know what I mean? But sometimes you get quarterbacks that go elsewhere, and then all of a sudden it's like, damn, he's not the same dude. And for instance, speaking of our team, Jim Plunkett, that was his situation. Jim Plunkett went to New England. He didn't do shit. The Niners didn't do shit. But he came here and it was like something clicked. Either was the system or the coaching or the combination of both that brought the best out of that man. Rich Gannon was an MVP caliber quarterback with the Raiders, but he wasn't with Kansas City. No, he wasn't. He wasn't that with Kansas. And what else? Didn't he play with Minnesota as well? I think Gannon did play with Minnesota, because when he came to us in the early 2000, late, was it 99, 2000, around there, he was already a veteran in the league, but he flourished in our system. Plus, not to mention, he had Jerry Rice and Tim Brown to throw to, and he had a run game, and a solid defense. So, I mean, you put those things in you got to add all that shit in to the equation of what will a team need to be successful. Do you think Jacksonville, with all the money they spent in free agent, do you think they're going to be a contender for a playoff spot or a contender for the Super Bowl? What do you think Jacksonville is going to do? See, now Minnesota, see, you're in the NFC with Minnesota. The NFC is wide the fuck open. It's wide open. Who are you scared of in the NFC? Who's scary? You know what I mean? Who is scary? The only one they were probably going to mention is Arizona. And that's only because Arizona has a nice young team. They made moves like last year to like add pieces to what they're trying to do. And Murray, he could still develop into a better quarterback than he is. You know what I mean? Now, there was little rumors saying that him and the team was like bumping heads, and I don't know if that's true. Sometimes people throw shit out in the wind and hoping something comes and sticks against the wall, and like friction happens between the quarterback and he gets onto not the free agent, but on the trade market. Work his way onto the trade market to force his way into another situation. And I'm going to tell you, with Murray, don't be surprised if that boy wants to get to Seattle. Yes, indeed. How do I figure that? He has family in Washington. How do I know that? His uncle is a friend of mine. So there's shit out there, and he didn't know. He didn't tell me shit, so don't say Lunatic Raider told me Murray wants to go to Seattle. I'm floating the idea out there. I'm knowing that he has family in the state of Washington. I know his uncle, but his uncle ain't told me shit, but I'm just putting one to one together. He would go somewhere where he's comfortable, play for a team that he's comfortable, in a city he's comfortable, with family that needs a quarterback. I'm just adding it all up. But don't get it twisted. Arizona is not trading Murray. Murray ain't going nowhere. Hell no. They're invested in him fully, and he will stay with that team. Too young. The only movement you're going to catch is older quarterbacks in the league that done, you know what I mean, ran their course to wherever they were at, and it's time to move on. Hell, that's how the Rams won the Super Bowl. They went and got a quarterback that ran his course in Detroit, brought him to LA, and that's all they needed. That's it. Sometimes a change of scenery helps a lot in the quarterback situation. Shout out to everybody that's out there in the chat. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. If this is your first time here, do me a solid. Subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and knock the hell out of that notification bell so you can be notified of all the content I release, even breaking news. I'd like to thank all you guys that's out here, man. Yeah, we're talking Honey Badger, the potential of him becoming a Raider. The other shit that's out there about that is Max Crosby tweeted that, here's a fun fact, Honey Badgers are silver and black. He said that. That man, Max Crosby, said that. What does that mean? Oh, we can read in between the lines, but for him to even mention anything about a Honey Badger and being in silver and black, I digress because I don't know what he meant, but it's an open comment. It can mean one thing, it can mean another. Does it mean that he knows something, that Honey Badger is coming? Or is he saying he's trying to connect the dots with Honey Badger to let him know, hey, you'll look good in the silver and black? I'm just saying. I don't know. But can you imagine that boy in a silver and black outfit? Oh my goodness. On the field with the defense that we put together so far? Man, the dude is tremendous on defense. That's one thing about Honey Badger is, man, the dude is really that good. He's focused. He pays attention. He's smart. Football smarts. That's the key. Football smarts. And a person like that on your D and your secondary can help these younger dudes. Help them, help coach, not be a coach, but help them with tips on the field. Your coach is hitting you up from the sideline, but you got players that can help you on the field while you out there. Tell you where you need to be in what position you need to be at. You know what I mean? Hey, I can see him being a captain also on the defense or on the team, period. Mathau's he's just one of them dudes. Man, shout out to all 16 out there, man. Do not be afraid to hit up the chat with questions or comments. Let's what do you guys feel? Would you rather have, okay, here's another question. And somebody posed this question already, but I want to ask you guys. Would you rather have Gilmore or the Badger? Who would you rather have? Gilmore or Matthew on the team? If you can only have one, who would you rather have? Who would you rather have? Me? I told you this is a hard ass question to me. This is one of those questions where the answer will not even be wrong, no matter who I pick. But looking at everything and analyzing everything, okay, hold on. We gonna get y'all up in here. Shout out to Aaron Diaz. Aaron says Gilmore. And that makes sense. You know what I mean? I think Gilmore being a corner, and if we can get him, is a higher priority than going after another safety. Even though it's Honey Badger, but still, we went out and got a solid safety who knows the coaching staff. That's the other thing. Gilmore knows the coaching staff as well. So I think he might work better in our system. And we need it all depends on if you're going to walk away from Mullen, man. What is Mullen going to go to the bench and become like a rotational type player at corner? Is that what we would do if we brought in Gilmore? Do we trade? Does Mullen have trade value? That's another thing to think about. Does Mullen have trade value for us to trade him if we bring in Gilmore? See, hey, people saying Gilmore in the house. See, and yes, exactly. Cornerback is a bigger need. That's what I said. It's a bigger need than safety right now. But I'm not saying that Matthew is oh, man, like I said, man, you stuck between a rock and a hard place on that question, because either move you, any one of those free agents that you sign will come in and make your team better. But corner is a bigger need than safety at this moment. That's why you got to figure that shit. Yet Badger will be healthier. Shout out to everybody out there, Adrian Davis, Gilmore. I think Gilmore too. I think if you had a choice, Gilmore might be the choice that you have to go that route. With the way the team is right now, is like I can see Gilmore opposite of Yasin with Abram in the box at the safety spot, and then Morrig. That's your secondary. Then your linebackers automatically with Perryman. We picked up some free agents also. They're picking up dudes that fit what we're trying to do. So I know there's like some of them picks like Bilal Nichols you guys are not familiar with. Pico, you're not familiar with. But they're picking up dudes. See, like I said, as long as they make selections in free agency that makes sense, and these dudes coming in that they're bringing in and signing, they look like they can fit the system. You know what I mean? They look from afar on paper, they fit what we're trying to do. And what they're trying to do is, this is how I'm looking at the defense. This is the defensive side of the ball. What I observe on the defense and how they're signing these players and the type of players they're getting, they're really focusing on turnovers from both levels. I'm talking about strip sacks. I'm talking about interceptions. They are focusing on takeaways. Watch what I tell you. They are trying to build this defense to be a takeaway machine. Matthew would help in that. But Gilmore would help also, because what would happen is you would get coverage sacks. And if you can get sacks because all the receivers are shut down, that means our defensive ends can go to work and defensive tackle and try to strip the ball when they're back in the backfield going after the quarterback. So not only do you get your paws on the quarterback, but you can also get your paws on the ball to force a fumble while you're trying to get the sack. And if you go look at Chandler Jones, that's what he does. Strip sacks. If you look at Crosby can get back in there. His dip is so low, and he gets around that motherfucking tackle. He's back in it, and he got that reach to be able to knock the ball out the quarterback hands. We want turnovers, so they're going out getting players that can give them turnovers, takeaways. That's what I see they're building this defense for, plain and simple. And that I love that idea, because a lot of times people just want to do enough with. And I feel that we're going to run blitzes. There's going to be blitzes from the safety spot. I like Abram in the box because that's a nice blitz. Because the way he tackles, you blitz him on the quarterback, the ball could come out the way he hits. He's good for that. You just don't want him to cover nobody. You know what I mean? You don't want him to cover nobody. See, shout out to Aaron Diaz. Yeah, Mullen, I'm not sold on either because of injuries and just not. We need shut down man. See, they're trying to add that man-to-man type mentality to these corners on this team. We want to shut everything down. If you shut all the receivers down, that fucking quarterback is going to be running around like a chicken with his head cut off. He's going to try to, he got to run from Max. Chandler Jones. Then there might Bilal Nichols. A blitz by Abram. And I'm telling you, he's running around probably with one hand on the ball because he's always looking to try to throw, and you're not going to throw with two hands on the ball. You're looking to throw, so it's going to be one-handed, which means strip sack. The ball's out there. They're trying to create a defense where they can get defenses either on strip sacks or making him throw when he's not ready to avoid the sack, interception. But we need ball hawks in that secondary that can identify the play and locate the ball. Because I remember when we had fucking DJ Hayden. The thing with DJ that I hated the most is the fact that the dude ran in stride with any fucking receiver, but he never turned to locate the ball to make a play on it. He's trying to read the receiver's eyes. But the receivers know this. Or read their hands. And they're like, receivers are not going to bring their hands up to the last minute. Because if they're doing this, then you know where to put your hand at because shit, their hands there. But DJ Hayden never located the ball when he played corner for us. We need people that can identify and locate the ball because that's the only way you're going to get a turnover. That's the only way you're going to get a turnover, by locating the ball and making a play on it in the secondary. You know what I mean? Hey, we're going to do the right shit, though. Believe that. Now, see, Sue, I like. I like Sue. Shout out to Dominican Sue, Portland native, Grant High School, my alma mater. Went to the same high school, Portland, Oregon, man. Years ago. So Sue, I would love Sue on the Raiders, for real. But man, I they keep telling us to wait. I hope the news come out Sunday. Is it Sunday yet? Not yet, but it's damn near. I hope Sunday they pop up and be like, the Raiders signed whoever. That's all I want to hear. Anybody that can come in here and help this team get more than just a playoff appearance and get us wins, I'm fine with. Like I said, as long as the moves the front office is making make sense, that's all that matters. We don't need to go out there and spend the most money on the first free agent available. We need free agents that can come right in and fit exactly what we're trying to establish on both sides of the ball. And right now, if you step back, and this is what I like to do, I look at the players we went and get, and I do research on them, and I learn what kind of players they are, and it's like I see what the fuck these motherfuckers is building on defense, dude. Offense is already set in stone. The only thing you got to worry about on offense is your right tackle. But it looks like Illuminor is going to be that problem solver. I don't sleep on Illuminor. I know we didn't go in after Lyle Collins and shit like that, but Illuminor, do not sleep on him. Trust me, do not sleep on him. He is no longer playing under Tom Cable. Y'all got to remember that shit. Tom Cable is not the offensive line coach no more. Period. 503. That's right. I know the area. 503 for real. Northeast Portland. Where you at? Stand up. Shit, for real, for real. But yeah, I'm telling you, they're getting the right pieces that this defense needs to be a dominant defense. Now, what is that? What is going to, become on the field from what we see on paper? We don't know. But if we're to sit here and look at the model in New England as far as how they did it, it worked there. You know what I mean? It worked in New England. So if they bring that same kind of philosophy, and I know it's not going to be exactly a duplicate of what New England does out there, it's not going to be a duplicate, because I already know when you got young GMs and young coaches that been under a system, when they fly the coop and they go solo, now they're going to add their ideology to what they've learned. And that's with anybody. You can go learn under somebody. Don't mean you're going to do it exactly like them, because you feel like, well, I know how to improve upon Bill Belichick's system. Okay, well, how do you do that? This is what you do. He didn't want me to do this while I was in New England, but I can do it here now with the Raiders. Watch what McDaniels does with this offense. I guarantee you, it's not going to be exactly what you thought it was because, in New England, this is how they run it. No, that's not a telltale sign of what McDaniels has up his sleeve. McDaniels has something up his sleeve, because look how tremendous these pieces are that he added to the offense. I think right now we have one of the most scariest offenses in the league because of all the fucking weapons we have. And it's forcing a team's defense to choose who they want to shut down. But the only thing is, no matter who you choose to shut down, there's another motherfucker going to make you wish you never even did that. You know what I mean? If you try to shut down Adams, and I know that's what's going to be the main focus, and I know that's why the Raiders went out and gave up 2 picks to get him on this team. He's going to cause a nightmare for defenses because they're going to double him. They're going to double him. They're going to keep a safety over there with the corner to keep him in check. But what that does, you're opening yourself to get gashed by these other players. And our running backs just don't run the ball. That's the key. They just don't run the ball. They can catch as well. Kenyon Drake will come out there and catch. Jacob Johnson, the fullback we got from New England, can catch. So no matter who's on the field, you're not going to be able to just look at the personnel and be like, oh, they're going to probably run this. Guess again, motherfucker. Guess again. You're not going to know, because we can run anything out of what the personnel that we have on that field. We can run anything with. And that's scary. That's scary, because you're going to sit there and now all defenses do is they react anyway, which gives you about a 1-2 second gap. You know what I mean? But when you have to constantly react, when you take Hunter and realize that the ball ain't going with Hunter, it's too late because you're out of the play, and now Josh Jacobs or Drake or Waller or Adams is the focus point. but you're sold on thinking it's him, or you're sold on thinking it's Adams, and then it's just the illusion of making you think that. So, man, I'm telling you, Josh McDaniels got something up his sleeve, and I promise this should be one of the most exciting offenses you have seen in the NFL since the St. Louis Rams. Because look at the weapons that the Rams had when the greatest show on turf. They had running backs, they had receivers, they had a decent quarterback, and people say, "Oh, he was better than decent." He was only good with, you know what I mean? He did what he had to do. And that's with any quarterback. You give any quarterback weapons, he don't have to make the big play. He don't have to be the one to try to make the big play. Just get your weapons the ball and let them make the big play. Because what did Marshall Faulk used to do? Marshall Faulk was a runner and he caught the ball. He was multi-dimensional. And that's what causes defenses to get stuck, because one play can look like this and then all of a sudden it changes and it's like it's too late. Because by the time you react, the motherfucker's wide open for a touchdown. We want to make you pause and think longer than usual on what the fuck is going on. Because that little pause is going to give you that 1-2 second gap is all you need, especially with the route runners we have on his team. Hunter Renfrow, Devontae Adams, two of the best route runners in this league. They break ankles off the line of scrimmage. And if they make you go this way and they're going this way, that little gap, that little separation they got, night-night. You going to sleep. You going to sleep because they're gonna tax your ass. They're gonna tax your ass. They're building this team right. And me sitting back and hearing all the who we're getting ready to sign, and there's really no news. They haven't budged. They're taking care of business. We might not get a Gilmore. We might not get a Honey Badger. But what we do have, I'm comfortable with as far as the overall schematic of how that defense operates with individuals. The machine is greater than the sum of its parts. And there you have it. Adams, Renfrow, Waller, Jacobs, Kenyon Drake, Carr, they're all parts of this machine. And see, we're so busy trying to step back and just critique. I mean, you can't critique individually what a player brings to the table and what he can do on the field, but it doesn't matter if he doesn't fit what you're trying to do. You could bring in players like we did last. We brought in Littleton from the Rams. We know what he did with the Rams, but we brought him into a system that he didn't fit in. Production disappeared. So what we have to do is be more concerned with, does that player fit into what we're doing? It doesn't matter if he's the best in the league. If he's in the league, he's in the league for a reason. You don't accidentally make it to the NFL. There has to be something about you that gets you into the league with the best of the best. So with that being said, you have to get the right pieces to fit what it is you're trying to do. And on defense, I'm telling you, I'm sitting back looking at Patrick Graham, the shit he says, and then I'm looking at the pieces that we have, and it's like the depth is there. We got depth. We got people that you can trust to come in for a player or two if need be to relieve a starter. We have that. We still got the draft to come. Free agency ain't even done yet. What do we do with the $20 million on June 2nd? The June 1st releases, we got about $20 million out there floating, but we can't touch it until June 2nd. What do you see happening June 2nd? You think they just going to sit on the money and not do shit? Or you think they're going to scour the whole league and see exactly what June 1st releases these teams are making, and they come scoop in on the motherfucking free agents and give them a contract for 1 year. 1 year. 1 year. That's all you need. You put a player in a position to just have to play 1 year. He has to bust his ass for 1 year to get the next bag. So you could pretty much expect the best out of him. Like Josh Jacobs. Oh, watch what Josh Jacobs do today. If they don't do shit and trade Josh Jacobs and they keep him, Josh Jacobs, next year is last year of his contract. 2023 is the 5th year on his contract. This is his 4th year. You can get an extension by the 3rd year. So last year he could have got one. But now with the changing of the guard with the team, we have to wait and see exactly, do they have him in high regards as far as someone you want to keep on this roster? Or do they feel they can move on and just get the next cheap thing to come in here but still give you the same production? I like Josh Jacobs. Josh Jacobs ran his ass off at the end of last year. That's one of the main reasons why we made the playoffs. You feel me? Shout out to everybody out there in the chat, man. I appreciate you guys. Let me see what you guys are saying. Aaron says, my only real worry is season his car or car gets hurt. That's why I said we have to go out and get a good veteran backup quarterback. A veteran backup quarterback, not a rookie, a veteran. Because there's no rookie going to be able to step in and give you the production and have all that knowledge that Carr has in 8 years. You feel me? But I don't even want to even think, you know what I mean? We have to address it, though. A good, solid backup quarterback has to be addressed just in case something like that does occur. If Carr does get hurt, we need someone that can come step in and still continue to do within our system, do what Carr was doing. And there's the weapons will still be there. The offensive line, your defense, everything will still be in place. It's just you need another quarterback to be able to hold it down just in case Carr misses 1, 2, 3 games, or I heaven forbid the season. But we've been down this road. We've seen the outcome. When you have a mediocre ass quarterback backing up your starter, don't expect to go into Houston and win a playoff game, because that's what happened. We went into Houston and did not win a playoff game, period. Jacob is a beast. Jacob became a beast when he knew he had to do what he had to do to get us to win these games. Because like I said, out of those last 4 games last season, if we were to lose any one of them, we would have never been in the playoffs. One loss out of those last 4 games, it would have been curtains. But that team did not lose. That's why I said this is not a rebuild. This team is ready. You just got to be able to give them more to be able to expand and do more on the field. We need more points. We know our weaknesses was in the red zone. So we had to go out there and get bigger targets. You got Devontae Adams at 6'2". You got Mac Hollins at 6'4". You got Waller. You got your tight ends come on. We got red zone targets. Red zone targets is what we have. So if we can change the outcome that we had last season in the red zone and not get 6 points and settle for 3, if we can change that, there's a whole lot more games to be won in the silver and black. Hands down. For real. For real, for real. Hey, think about that though. Think about, you said that shit right, Aaron. Adams, Renfro, Waller, and Jacobs. Think about that. Just really step away from being a Raider fan and just look at the Raider team offense and look at all those fucking positions. Look at the positions that we have on this offense. Come on now. If no teams is gonna fear that shit, dude. They gonna fear it. They gonna fear it for real, for real. I'm telling you, that is a deadly ass team as far as positions that can take it to the house or make big plays. That is, and see, we're only mentioning those 4. You're mentioning Adams, you said Renfro, you said Jacobs and Waller. But don't forget, you still got Kenyon Drake. You got Jacob Johnson. You got weapons, dude. This team got weapons. Weapons. And I'm telling you, it's gonna be it's going to hard press these defenses to really try to counter what it is we're trying to do. This shit is almost scary. And the defense right now, I think a couple of more moves on defense can make that defense the defensive equivalent to the offense being scary, because we got the pass rushers. Now, if Bilal and the other nose tackle dude, I forgot the white dude name that we picked up also, but he's a true nose tackle. But man, I'm telling you, we could be in store for a very, very special season. A very special season. Just because of the personnel we got, man. We got weapons, man. I don't care what any pundit, ESPN, fucking whoever says that the Raiders ain't gonna do shit. We're gonna finish last in the division. Tell them they can get a bowl of nuts. And I ain't talking about the shit that you screw on the fucking you screw on a screw. You can get a bowl of nuts, because that's just pure hateful, wishful thinking that you just wished our team just not do shit. You already downgraded Adams when he came to the team by making him the 5th best wide receiver in the league, but he was number 1 with Green Bay. I talked about that already. Like I said, I'm not worried about what the outsiders say, because it's usually coming from the lips of those who do not represent Raider Nation, who does not give a fuck about Raider Nation. So I don't listen to them, y'all. We gonna wait and see. I'm telling you. And mark my words, anybody out there, like I said, that was bad mouthing, just keep mental notes of it. Hey, screenshot their tweets. Screenshot everything that they say so we could have proof. Like, remember early in the season, you said this shit, and they'd be like, oh, you better, they better eat crow. Plain and simple. They better eat crow, because it's just nonsense, man. It's a shame that you hate a franchise so much, and you're supposed to be reporting everything NFL, but this one particular team you don't like, so you're not going to give them the shine that they deserve. But you know what, Raider Nation, we good. We don't need their shine. We got our own shine. We'll shine on our own, and once this team starts winning, we're all going to high five each other, and we're going to be hollering, Raiders! You feel me? We going to be hollering that shit. They're going to learn. They're going to learn the hard way. Like I said, Raiders is back. I got a good feeling. They got a good leadership. They got good pieces, and they're not done. Like I said, we still have the draft, and there's still possibility of signing more free agents. So I'm ready for it. I'm ready for the smoke. I'm ready for whatever the fuck they want to bring to the table. Bring that shit, because I'm ready for it. And I know you guys are ready for it, because y'all Raider Nation too. Hey, tell me there is no other fan base like us, period. None. There is no other fan base like us. We got this shit. Shout out to everybody out there, man, that's on the page, man. If you have not, before I even say that, if this is your first time here, do me a solid. Subscribe to the channel. Hit that like button. Knock the hell out of that notification bell. Right now, I'm close to getting to 500 subs. I could not have done it without those who have subscribed. And to those who have not, just do so. That's all I ask for. We come here, we have a good time. We talk about the facts. We talk about the truth, because there's a lot of people putting out misinformation about us signing certain individuals and how much money that they're being offered. I know they're being funny and being trolls, but I block them out. It's us. We're discussing this. Like, there's fucking decisions that we really have to make. There's still some decisions to make of players to keep, players to get rid of, players to draft, players to sign. There are a lot of decisions that go into making this whole franchise come back and be relevant again in the playoffs for a Super Bowl in the league. So I'm down for it. I can't wait until they make the moves they move. I mean, they do, but it's like we just keep speculating and rumors and it's like, man, fuck all that speculation and rumor shit. I'm ready to hear some truth. Tell me the truth. Who are the Raiders really in negotiations with? Is it Honey Badger? Is it Gilmore? Is there a likelihood of either one of these, or maybe even both, signing with our Las Vegas Raiders? That's all I want to know. Give me the truth, raw and uncut. That's all I want. But we're going to find out sooner or later, because like right now, we're a month away from the draft. The 28th of April will be here fast. Even though we have no pick in the first round, but we never know the moves that the front office are geared towards making. We don't know the moves that they're geared towards making. They might have something in the works of getting back into the first or second round. Who knows? Who knows? And if you guys are going to be out here for the draft, I'm going to be out there on the strip during the draft. I'm probably going to go live during the draft, even though that we ain't got a first, but it'll be interesting to go ahead, walk around and catch the rest of the nation and get their feedback on what they think we should do Friday night with the third pick. Do we trade back into the second round by using the third pick on that Friday night? But I will be out there and I will be doing some giveaways. I will be handing out some t-shirts to lucky people of the nation only, though, because I know we're going to have fans of every team, but I'm only dealing with my family, which is the Raider Nation. So I'm going to be out there with t-shirts and so forth. And hey, look me up. Look me up. But I'm going to be doing a live. I'm going to do a live show direct from the strip. That's my goal. That's my plan. So look for me Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. I will be out there reporting what's going on and getting feedback from the rest of our nation to see how they feel about the certain picks we made, trades, and who we should have got, or their opinion on who we did get. So we will be going live during the draft next month from the strip. So stay tuned. If you have not subscribed, subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you know when I go live. You'll get a notification because I will be going live, and I want you guys to all participate. Tell me y'all feedback, because some of you guys won't be able to make it out here, but this is a way I can connect with those who aren't here and those who are. Have all the nation, all the one. And I know that you guys got other channels that you can deal with during the draft too. Long as it's Raiders, let's do it. Handle that shit. Long as it is Raiders content, we are solid. I do not mind. Like I said, I'm just part of the puzzle. And the whole puzzle is the whole nation. So let me add my little 2 cents and so forth. And man, get y'all's 2 cents on what you guys feel like we should do. Man, for real, for real. You know what? Let me post that up too, Aaron, because that's a good point. As far as what if we get OBJ? Man, that's another tremendous ass move. I don't see OBJ playing for cheap. I can see him going back to the Rams. But if that possibility exists and you can add him as your number 2 receiver opposite of Davante Adams. Now picture this. Step back for a minute and look at the Raider offense. If that happened, you would have Davante Adams, OBJ, Renfro, Waller, Josh Jacobs. That is scary as shit. That's 31st of October scary. You know what I mean? 31st of October scary. Because that is way too much talent and potential for these other defenses to try to worry about. And I'm telling you, if we pull something like that and make that make that offense that much more worrisome for defenders, I'm all with it. Because man, that's ridiculous. Well, yeah. We know OBJ probably won't pop up until the midseason. You're correct. You're correct with that, Florida boy. But just imagine when you get ready to go on that playoff run, like when you want to gain that momentum to go into the playoffs, and OBJ comes up, now you add him. Shit. Shit. That's man with fresh legs and he's not burnt out. You just got to make sure he's healthy, though. That's the only thing I say. You got to make sure OBJ is healthy, because for him to tear the same ACL twice, he's a young dude still. He can still recoup, come back, and still produce at a high level. But you have to be sure that that injury will not come back and hamper his play. We want healthy, fully healthy OBJ if he's playing on the other side of Adams, because that 1-2 punch right there, along with Renfro in the slot, Waller in the fucking tight end spot, and then you got your running backs with Josh Jacobs and Kenyon Drake and Jacob Johnson and Tupac and Biggie and all of everybody that could come in and help win games. I'm telling you, that'll be tremendous. That would be tremendous. I would not be against that at all. Period. Man, to have a number 2 like OBJ is a number 2 for you. We seen with before he got hurt in the Super Bowl with the Rams, we see his production. That dude, and I remember I was talking to this dude, he's a Ram fan, and I told him, he asked me what receiver would be the main focal point as far as to help his team win. I said, and he brought up Cooper Kupp, but I sat there and thought about it. Like, I think OBJ is the X factor. That's the reason why they went in and went out and got it and brought him in there. He's the X factor. If you get a full healthy OBJ and you already got a Cooper Kupp in them on your team, that could be a very, very intense X factor, because that dude brings so much to the table as a wide receiver. And it's like, man, now just imagine him with us in that same kind of role, counterpart of Devontae Adams. That's scary as shit. That shit, that offense right there, if you did that shit would be scary, dude. But you know what? I like Mac Hollins. I like his size, I like his speed, and I like the little information he gave out there about being more than just a speed guy to stretch the defense. He wants to show that he can run routes too. He got two. Look at the wide receiver room with Adams and Renfro now with route running. If they can get all these receivers to run routes like they run, it is over. It's over. Yes, indeed. Yeah, I know. Hey, Adams did say he wouldn't mind playing with OBJ, because I think he wanted to play with him in Green Bay, and that's when he ended up going. He didn't go to Green Bay. He went to it was Cleveland. It was Cleveland or Green Bay, if I remember right. But who knows? You get them to get, man, I'm telling you, dog, that shit'll be wild. Wild. Okay. Landry would be another option too. But see, the whole thing was Landry was supposed to work in Cleveland with OBJ because weren't they teammates in college? Wasn't that shit supposed to rekindle itself? But Cleveland don't know what they doing, man. All those draft picks they gave up for Deshaun Watson, are you serious? That's just as fucking lunacy as Miami giving up all those picks for Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill is not going to change your win column. He can add to points on the board, but if you ain't got a quarterback to give him the ball, all for what? All for what? You done gave up, 5 picks for Tyreek Hill? What the fuck? Tyreek Hill had Mahomes throwing to him. You got Tua. Let's keep it 100 for real. Let's keep it 100. You got my man. I don't know why they would do that shit. And I see Kansas City is mailing it in. They're trying to go out here and get like MVS and go out there and get Juju. And I'm like, because you got rid of Tyreek Hill. You went out there and got cheaper receivers because of the money Mahomes about to start pulling in on that deal he got. See, that's one thing about having a quarterback trying to break the bank and get all the money he can get. It fucks the team because you don't have money left to go out there and shore up. Like, don't be mad if you get your ass sacked because we couldn't afford a left fucking tackle because you eating up all the money. You know what I mean? Tyreek got ghosts. Hey, Tyreek went deuces and went to Miami. He went to go get the bag and he went to go get a number one receiver spot. And too bad he can't throw to himself. You know what I mean? Too bad he can't throw to himself. Hey, for real, Julio. Hey, I'll be happy with Julio Jones or Landry. It don't have to be OBJ. It don't. A number twos, those dudes will be outstanding number twos. I don't care how old they are because they're not number ones. See, we got Devontae Adams for a reason. We're going to throw him the ball. But to have a Julio Jones or a Landry at the number two or an OBJ, it don't matter. They're good enough to be a number two. And sometimes you fall off to a number two when you get older anyway. Shit, tell me who was the number two when Rice and I don't think that 1 and 2 shit don't mean throw to the motherfucker that's open. Of course, you're going to have your hot routes and all that other shit. But if you're going through your reads, go to the man that's open. And if your number two can be just as much as open as your number one, you're in a better place. You're in a better place because then you have two decisions you can make. And either one of them will be prosperous. You either go to your number two or you go to your number one. The other option is going to your slot, going to your tight end. We have a situation here where Carr will have an outlet if there is nothing else available. Plain and simple. Shout out to Sean Johnson. Looking back, Ziegler in his front office made a boss move. Yes, they did. Tyreek Hill contact was locked up. Yep. Because he didn't want to go to the Jets. I know the Jets was the other one that had an offer on the table for Tyreek Hill too. Yep. Adams got paid. Kansas City said nope. Nope, they ain't going higher. Yeah, they were set in what they were going to offer him. And since they knew that they pulled, don't get me wrong, they won that fucking trade. With all those draft picks they got, they won that trade with Miami. Miami just looked like Miami got shit on their face for that one. Because like I said, just because you got Tyreek Hill, don't mean it's going to equate to going to the playoffs. Who's your quarterback? If you're going to put everything into Tua, you think Tua is going to be that quarterback to be able to get Tyreek that fucking ball? We going to find out this season. Believe that. And I hope Edwards makes that leap. The only thing I have, this all Edwards has to do. Edwards just has to be a consistent wide receiver. He's a physical body, a big body, so he can like box out motherfuckers for the ball, especially low ass corners. You know what I mean? I like Edwards. When I see Edwards play, he makes all the tough catches, but it's like the easy catches he struggles with. You know what I mean? But like I said, there's still room for improvement. Edwards ain't going nowhere. You go ahead and what I would like to see if we don't sign a veteran free agent wide receiver, which it doesn't look like we are going to, we already made our signings. What I see them, if they go in the draft and they draft a rookie wide receiver and just let him come compete. Get a rookie wide receiver and let him compete. Plain and simple. Don't give the number 2 wide receiver job to Edwards. If you draft a rookie, tell them, shit, Mac Hollins too, include him. Y'all fight for this shit. Best man gets it. And then that way we'll have the best players on the field. If the best man gets the position, let them fight for that shit, man. For real. I don't like handing out fucking spots on the roster, and especially with a new regime, and these guys ain't proven in this system. You know what I mean? Prove yourself in this system. We go through camp. We have the OTAs and the mandatories and all that shit. Prove yourself. And then when we go to the Hall of Fame game, thank God we got 5 preseason games, because in that way, now we can really let the undrafteds, the rookies, go out there and show what they can do. And we got people on this team that's going to play as well. We know Trey Regis is going to get out there. I want to see him at running back. You know what I mean? Malcolm Kuntz, defensive end, and you got Chandler Jones and Max Crosby to help groom you into being something great. I want to see that. I'm there for all that shit. Divine Diablo, I'm there for all that shit. Plus whatever people we bring in. So I'm looking forward to the preseason because that's going to help separate those who's going to be starters from those that's just going to be rotational. We need the best 11 on the field at all times. And the depth is another thing because like they brought up, like I forgot who brought it up. Aaron brought it up. Injuries. Injuries happen. This is a physical sport. People tear ACLs. God forbid Achilles tendons. There's shit that happens. So we have to be prepared. We have to be prepared. Shout out to Aaron. Yes, indeed. I think we can win the division too. Hands down. I think we can win the division. Because there's not really, it's not like all the teams made moves and we didn't. At first it seemed like that, like, oh, there go Khalil Mack. Oh, there go Russell Wilson. Oh, there go Juju Schuster. Oh, shit, there go MVS. We're seeing all this shit. But the moves we made kind of countered that. You know what I mean? Plus, you figure some teams got weaker for the fact that Tyreek Hill is no longer in Kansas City. That was their number one threat. Juju is not Tyreek. MVS is not Tyreek. You know what I mean? These dudes are playing on a 1-year deal of $10 million. So there it is in a nutshell. There it is in a nutshell. Shout out to everybody that's out here with me on this evening or early AM. And we are live from the Raiders Asylum with yours truly, Lunatic Raider. We're discussing Raiders about potential moves we would like to see happen, and what we're going to do in the draft and free agency, all that good shit. All that good shit. I just want to come on for a minute tonight, you guys, and just kick it with my people, with my Raider Nation people, man. Y'all got some good ideas, good comments, and I appreciate every one of you guys for pulling up this evening. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for real for pulling up. Even there's also like the things I also like I consider is like usually when you get into the draft, okay, you can trade up and down and for draft picks. And we talked a little bit on who is some of our players that you would include in a trade to move back into the second round. And I had brought up one where Josh Jacobs, because of value, not because he's not good, but if you really have your eyes set on a player that you can get in the second round by trading back into it, it has to be a no-brainer. It has to be a pick like you did not know this motherfucker was going to be in the second round. And somebody that could come right in and like fucking plug and play right now. You know what I mean? But you might have to look at Josh Jacobs. And the reason why I say this is because I know how the league is. There is not really too much value on a running back. For instance, who's a running back over in New York that New York trying to get rid of? He was a hell of a back coming out of college and playing for them. But that just shows you the kind of value that they have. Running backs don't carry high value in the NFL as far as longevity. They don't look at a running back and be like, oh, yeah, we can get like 7-8 years. Some running backs can give you that. But I think running backs is like the lowest lifespan in the NFL. And I think they average about a 4-year career. The average, because you figure, look at the punishment running backs get. When you're on an offense, you have to break tackles of 300-plus linemen, 250-plus linebackers. And if you get through that second level and then you're out into the secondary, you got motherfuckers that's coming at you full steam ahead to try to dislodge the ball. So running backs take a lot of punishment. A lot of punishment. Therefore, that is always teams looking to go ahead and find the next running back in line to replace the one that they have. And it happens everywhere. It happens everywhere. You know what I mean? The best running backs end up with different teams. Don't think Herschel Walker stayed with fucking Cowboys with that big trade with fucking Minnesota. You know what I mean? Don't think who else? I'm gonna tell you who else. Fucking who was it? It was and he played with us for 1 year too. Has the record. I mentioned his name earlier, man. See, I need to stop drinking this adult beverage. But oh my God, his name is Eric Dickerson. Eric Dickerson didn't stay with the Colts. He played with the Raiders for a year. You know what I mean? Star running backs get moved. They get moved. Plain and simple. They get moved. They don't stick around. They're always going to be moving because they always looking for the next man to replace them. All the teams do that. There's not a lot of big value in. You could be a dominating ass running back. Hell, fucking even Barry Sanders retired before he wanted to, because he wanted to go elsewhere, and fucking the Detroit Lions was being stubborn with him, so they was like, go ahead and retire. I'm gonna tell you who else. We talk about running backs and then attached to the Raiders. I think it was who was it? And it was a lot of our running backs wasn't originally with us too, though. You remember when we had Tyrone Wheatley? We got him from the Giants. You know what I mean? We even had Roger Craig from the Niners. We had him on the team. Running backs don't stick around long, man. They're like I said, they're short-lived in the NFL. There's no respect for them. For real. Let's see here. Shout out to Sean Johnson, Marshawn Lynch. Marshawn Lynch didn't stick with Seattle. He ended up with the Raiders. You know what I mean? I wish this Raider team now had Marshawn Lynch. To be honest with you, can you imagine Marshawn Lynch on this team in Vegas, man? With the weapons they got too? Shit. Yeah, if Gruden was still here, Jacobs probably be gone for real. Like I said, it's kind of like you try to get something off of them before they hit free agency and walk. You're not going to hit them with the franchise tag, because then you got to go ahead and commit those dollars to that player. And especially if that player is not somebody you see in either the short term or the long term in your future, you don't want to franchise them. But you want to try to move them before that last year on that contract hit. Like I said, pay attention to Josh Jacobs this year. Let's see what he does, and let's see what we do. But I would keep him just as long as the price tag on him is not far-fetched, where we're like overpaying to keep a quarterback that, a running back that does what he does. So, and like I said, we still got Kenyon Drake. That's another factor into that shit. So, Kenyon Drake can do the same shit with the right offense and the right offensive line. So, it is what it is. We'll see what happens with Josh Jacobs. Does he get the 5th-year extension in 2023? Do we trade him? What happens? Hey, Devontae Adams got traded. And he a star wide receiver. But he been wanting to leave. I heard that he been asked to go ahead and come to the Raiders. This was already in the plans. Him and Carr already were in cahoots to hopefully make shit happen. And with him being a free agent and him getting the franchise tag and him not willing to sign it, gave him the power to go ahead and make things happen. And the Green Bay Packers did not get left high and dry. They got a 1st and a 2nd round pick in this draft. They can go draft a fucking wide receiver now to replace Adams. You know what I mean? Now, will that wide receiver pan out for him? That's something you have to wait and see. You know, we keep talking Treylon Burks, and you got other people out there like the 2 receivers from Ohio State, dude from Bell from Purdue. You got USC, dude from USC. You got wide receivers out there. Dude from Alabama, he'll bounce back from that ACL. Like I said, ACLs is not like a end of a career type injury anymore. Medicine doesn't improve so much where the shit. You see fucking OBJ came back into the season after tearing his ACL. You feel me? Jameson Williams. That's another one. He's gonna drop. I can see him dropping, but it all depends on how confident these teams are to go ahead and take a pass on his injury and draft him anyway, or does he fall? I will wait and see, because if his ass if he drops into the second round, what if the Raiders grabbed him? Would you grab him and put him in the lineup and therefore let him groom? Because with his route running, don't forget, he's a hell of a route runner also. You groom him under because like I say, Devontae Adams is 29. He's not going to play forever. But at least we'll have another wide receiver that's young that can take we won't lose a step. It'll be like handing off of the baton to the next generation of wide receiver for us. You know what I mean? I don't know. There's, like I said, there's options. There's different ways we can go about doing this shit, but it's going to be very interesting to see, for real. Yes, and Jordan Davis, man, I would love to have Jordan Davis. Can you imagine, man, Jordan Davis at our nose tackle, and we got Jones and Crosby on the ends with Bilal Nichols. That's why I said I'm comfortable. I'm comfortable with a defensive tackle coming in as a rookie and plug and play over an offensive lineman being a rookie. Because look at the growing pains we went through with Leatherwood last year. Leatherwood had to bump his head a few times. You know what I mean? And then we end up moving him inside to the guard spot from right tackle. So I don't even know what the team has in store for him. Do they plan on keeping him at guard, or do they going to try to? I doubt they move him to tackle, because if you bring in Luminor back, Luminor going to be your right tackle. Luminor is going to be your right tackle. That's what I see happen. Leatherwood is going to be at right guard. That's what it looks like, and I think that might be the best move right now for us, for real. Yeah, being scared about the O-line situation. Yes, but at least here is the thing. None of them are rookies anymore. You know what I mean? The people that we have here now, and as you noticed last year with that group we put together, they improved over time. So now with the group now, you just got to continue to let them keep improving. You know what I mean? That's all you got to do. Let them continue to improve more upon what they already have done. So that's still out there. Like I said, I'm not mad that, hey, Raiders are going to be all right. I'm not concerned with the offensive line. I do feel that they will address a tackle or a guard in the draft this year, but later rounds, like catch someone and groom them up type thing, which is cool. Keep them on the sideline, groom them up. Don't let them start. I'm not comfortable with that. But man, we're going in the right direction. The team is in good hands. We got a good front office. We're plugging in good, like, rotational and depth on this team, as well as star quality players. We added 2 stars, 2 legitimate elite stars. Chandler Jones, 1 on defense, and Devontae Adams, 1 on offense. But elite. And that's who was elite on our team before they came? I'll wait. Who did the Raiders have on this team that were elite at their position? Nobody. We had nobody that was elite. Max Crosby still has not scratched the surface of what he's going to become. That's what's scary about him. So he's not elite yet, because he had 1 good year. This past year, what made Pro Bowl, he MVP of the Pro Bowl, all that shit. That's fine and dandy. But do it again and increase your sacks. increase your strip sacks. You know what I mean? We got to see it again. You know, it's always, what have you done for me lately? So that's what we're going to wait on. And I think, hey, Max Crosby's going to be all right. Believe that. He is going to be okay, because this dude right here is just, he's not even nowhere near his ceiling. This dude, I'm telling you, he has the potential of being one of the greatest defensive ends of all time. And that's because he never stops playing. He plays hard every fucking down. Every time he's on the field, he goes hard. He keeps running down he plays through the whistle. You know what I mean? So that's one player that you can have at the defensive end spot that does not stop on plays. If this quarter, and you got to remember, we're dealing with mobile quarterbacks in our division now. Russell Wilson, mobile. Herbert, mobile. Mahomes, mobile. We have to deal with that 6 times a year. So you better have some defensive players that do not let up on the gas while they're chasing these quarterbacks around, because if we get our secondary right and we shutting down shit and they ain't got nobody to throw to, they're going to run around. And that's usually when they make plays, is when they're on the move. We got to be able to get our hands on them and stop them in their tracks. We need a sack. We need a ball out their hand. We need all that shit. We need them to go backwards in the yardage. And we have those players in place. Defensive tackle, we went out and got a couple. We got to see who's going to be the ones to start. Who's going to be the ones in camp to show they ass, to show the coaches that they deserve to start. We all get to find out at the same time. Because I'm telling you, when camp opens up, I'm on it. I'm like, man, I'm trying to hear who's the one that's impressing people. You know what I mean? Who has that potential? Shout out to Pack Attack. Thank you for pulling up on me, man. Yes, indeed. That's what we've been talking about tonight, Pack. We've been talking about who would you take, Gilmore or Honey Badger. And right now, the way I'm feeling and how a couple of other people are feeling is that corner is a more needed position right now as to a safety, because we did go out and get a safety already, you know, that's worked with our people or our coaching staff before. So there's that familiarity where they know each other. I would say Gilmore, just because of what we need right now. Now, we could use Matthew, whatever, however you want to pronounce his name. We could use him. That would be an upgrade at the other safety spot next to Morrig, but we don't really need. It's not like we man, it's hard to say, man. I wouldn't call it a need compared to we need a corner, because Trayvon Mullen, I don't know what's going to happen with that. Trayvon Mullen, I do not know what's going to happen with that. Do we keep him? You know what I mean? Do we trade him? I don't know. So it's a wait and see type situation here with our corner spot. We know Yasin is gonna Rock. Yasin got the starting spot. That's why we traded for him. He got one starting spot, but that other corner, Gilmore, I would love to see Gilmore. I think Gilmore will fit nicely into what we're doing. Plus, like I said, they know he'll fit. They dealt with him before. They know he'll fit. Now, and that's exactly the whole thing. Harmon and Gilmore has that working relationship. That's why I said you bring Gilmore in, man, your secondary looks real good. It looks real good. But like it depends on what the money is asked for. Is that the star defensive player that the Raiders have an offer for, that we're waiting to see if he's going to accept it? Or is it Honey Badger that we put an offer for? I heard we offered a contract to Honey Badger. Now, in a perfect world, we get both of their asses. You know what I mean? We get both. Therefore, there won't be no conversation and no debate. If they pull that shit off, man, I'm telling you. I'm gonna be like, oh, these dudes is the truth. The front office is the truth if they pull both of these dudes off. I don't see it happening, but I done seen stranger things. I done seen stranger things also. So One question before, let's see, get back to work. If you could throw a TD pass to a Raiders legend, who would it be to? That's a good question. If I could throw a pass to a Raider legend, who would it be? Dude, you would have to, Biletnikoff has to be mentioned. Because the Biletnikoff Award is named after him. But he but then again, you had Jerry Rice with the team, Tim Brown, James Jett, Rocket Ismail. Oh my God, man. Hey, you know what? I would have to say it would have to be Biletnikoff, man, because you gotta he's folklore with the Raiders. You know what I mean? Biletnikoff is folklore. That's like to be able to throw him a pass. That's epic. And that's not shitting on no other receiver that has ever donned the silver and black. But Biletnikoff, that was the man back in his era. You know what I mean? That was the man. So I would have to say him. I mean, I would have loved to throw to other people, but shit, Biletnikoff is like, that's like, man, that's you know what I mean? That's some epic shit for real. For real. Hey, Branch, see, that's like I said, man, Branch too, though. But Biletnikoff, though. I mean, damn, his era. But Branch, hey, Clifford Branch too, though. I don't get me wrong. Man, why y'all be asking these old hard-ass questions, man? That ain't cool. You making me choose and shit between Raiders. Man, fuck that. Look, you said Bo Jackson. Hey, the Raiders done had epic ass players on this team you could throw to. Here's another one. Kenny King. He was a speedster running back, but we threw to him. Believe that. Traded for Kenny King out of Houston. And I think we gave up Jack Tatum and 2 7th-round picks for Kenny King. Yes, we did. And Kenny King had wheels, but we also had James Jett. Man, we had some fucking receivers on this team with some wheels, man. For real. We had some wheels on this team. Oh my God, I think about it. Matter of fact, I did a video of some of the fastest receivers that's ever played for the Raiders. You guys if you go to my channel and check it out, it shows you. I got the little Raider road runner, and it says the top 5 fastest Raiders of all time. Clifford Branch is one of them. Fucking I said Kenny King. I'm trying to remember all their names. I don't think I did James Jett, but I did Rocket Ismail. Rocket, of course, the Rocket, man. The Rocket had wheels. Who else? Bo Jackson was the fastest. You know what I mean? Because they still say today he was clocked at a 4.1240. And he said it himself. That's what they clocked him at. I don't know why they ain't got him listed as the fastest player of all time, but a 4.1240 at 200 and how many pounds was he? 225, 230 around there? Man, Bo Jackson was a fucking monster for real. For real. He said, hey, Napoleon Kaufman too, though. Marcus Allen. Oh, happy belated birthday to Marcus Allen. I think he turned 60, 62 or 63 yesterday, I think it was. Happy belated birthday. That's another one that, you know what I mean? Hey, the Raiders, that's why we don't retire numbers. That's exactly why we don't retire numbers, because we got too many. Randy Mosston being here, even though he said he wasn't a Raider, you wore that fucking jersey. You was a Raider. You know what I mean? So you played, you was fast too. That's another fucking, that's another receiver. We had receivers, man, for real. And man, I'm sad with fucking Ruggs, because Ruggs had potential. Ruggs had that potential to really be a breakout ass receiver. He had the speed and he had the hands. I mean, I'm telling you, I'm just so I'm so upset with that whole situation because he could have made better decisions. That boy could have made better decisions, and now it looks like everything is ruined. You know what I mean for him, and that's sad because there was somebody that lost a life, and it's just, man, that's just something that I don't know, man. That it's hard to swallow some shit like that, man. Because oh yeah, Jacoby Ford. We was hoping that Jacoby Ford and Jamarcus Russell would work. If only Jamarcus Russell would have had the heart and the fucking work ethic to put with his God-given ability, I'm telling you, we would have been going bombs on everybody. On everybody. Because Jamarcus had the arm to get, man, he could have been in the end zone and threw it to you into the other end zone. But that boy, man, his work ethic sucked ass. Literally. No, he didn't literally suck ass, but his skills did. Shit, man, for real. Yeah, Jacoby Ford, that was I used to love him. Hayward Bay, if he could have catch balls, Hayward Bay would have been one too, because he was a big, fast fucking receiver. He just didn't have hands, man. He didn't have hands at all. Raiders, hey, we didn't had some good ass Andre Rison. Don't forget about him. Crabtree. Don't forget. Hey, we had receivers. That's one thing that the Raiders always had was receivers. Al Davis went out there and found ex-Olympian track stars to be our receivers. You know what I mean? For real. Oh, Willie Gault. Willie Gault was a Raider, former Olympian, gold medals, all that shit. I'm telling you, hey, Al Davis used to be out there trying to find them. He'd be out there like with a magnifying glass and a flashlight, like he was looking for crack residue. Crack residue on the sidewalk. You feel me? Trying to get that bump. My damn beer getting warm. Hey, I love fucking with y'all, man. Hey, I appreciate every one of you guys for pulling up on me. It is almost 1 o'clock. So we done put it down for like about 2 hours. And this has been fun, man, because you guys bring up a lot of good points. Man, brought up some good ideas as far as what we should do. And man, I'm with you on that shit. Before I let you guys go up out of here tonight, just know that I appreciate every one of you guys. Without you, there is no me. And without us, there is no nation. And there's only one nation. So with that being said, man, if this is your first time here and you have not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. I'm on my way to 500 subs, you guys. And every one of you guys played a part of it. So please, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Hit the like button. You can follow me on Twitter at Raiders Allegiance, or actually it's Raiders Allegiance 1 on Twitter. Facebook, Raiders Allegiance. Instagram, Raiders Allegiance. I'm everywhere. On Twitch, Raiders_Allegiance. I'm everywhere. So I need my family. I need my Raider family, my silver and black people. Go ahead and, man, spread the word. If you got fans or family members or friends that's Raider fans, hey, shoot them the link. You know what I mean? Go ahead and shoot them the link to the I'm trying to find out what that. I'm trying to
see what that be like right there. Look, be that.
I'm trying to see what that's like, you know, getting more subscribers and shit, building a network, communicating with you guys, throwing that shit back and forth. You feel me? I love y'all, man. Thank you so much for pulling up on me. I really appreciate it. But like I said, just subscribe to the channel, share it with your friends, with your family. If they're Raider fans, hey, here's a page you guys can, here's a YouTube channel y'all can go check out. Man, I really will appreciate that from every one of you guys. I thank you all for tuning in tonight, man. This is Lunatic Raider, Raiders Allegiance, live from the Raiders Asylum with yours truly, man. It's been a blessing to be able to sit here and talk shop with you guys. Go Raiders. Let's hope for the best move we make is coming up next. I hope it's either Gilmore or Honey Badger. I hope it is. I hope it is. Let's put the positive energy in the air. Thank you guys for coming. I'm gone, man. I'm out.